got loads to do, but I can't think of where to start. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. So the greenhouse, after our growing season, it needs a bit of a clean. I need to get around to doing this. I'm having one of those days today where I've got loads to do, but I can't think of where to start. So I'm just having a little bit of a dilemma at the minute, because this greenhouse needs cleaning. The flower bed outside needs extending. I need to do the bed for the berries and stuff outside. I need to sort out the front garden. It's too cold to be messing about with all of that, so I think I'm gonna just potter about in here and see what I can get done in this greenhouse and try and get this a little bit tidied up. What I'm going to do with that bamboo there is I'm going to take it indoors. I don't trust it being outdoors over the winter. It's already looking like it's starting to flag a little bit under the cold, so I'm going to take it inside. I don't want it dying. It's the third time that we brought bamboo. This is bamboo from the village where my parents grew up in Bangladesh. So I want to try and keep this alive as much as I can. So I'm going to take it inside and just make sure it's okay. Same with this lemon plant. It's looking like it's had a bit of frostbite at the end. I'm going to put that into a smaller pot and take it inside, because I want to make sure it survives over the winter. There's bits of spinach left here. I'll give that a bit of a trim, tidy that up and top dress it, and see if it keeps producing leaves over the winter. These tools all need putting away and just general tidy up in here, so I think I'm going to do that first before I get too cold. So these are my chilli plants and my pepper plants that look a little bit worse for wear due to the cold. So the ones that some of these, what I'm going to do with them is the only reason I'm trimming them back and not cutting them back completely is if any of them do decide to survive, next season I'll just have a bit of an earlier start. Generally with chilies, they grow and for fruit they crop well in the first year. They don't crop as well in the second year. That's the general rule of thumb, but that's not the case with all chilies and all peppers. So I'll just continue trimming these back. Like this one, I think that's about had its day. So I'll give that a cut there, and all of these can go on the compost pile. If I had the space, then I would have taken some of these inside and overwintered a couple of these inside. But because of the lack of space inside, I just want to use that space for the things that are most precious to me, such as the bamboo and such as the lemon plants. Because those lemon plants came from, again, they came from seeds that came from a plant in Bangladesh that's grown in my village. So I'm just trimming these back to a leaf node, and then see where that joins, see where that leaf node is. I'm just trimming it back to that leaf node, and then hopefully they'll have a good chance of surviving next year. Maybe. We'll just see. That plant's completely had it. This plant here has completely had it. Even there's still a couple of chilies left on there. I don't know how good they're going to be, but look, it's even coming out of the ground straight away as soon as I pull it. But it's got a nice root system on it. What I'll do is I'll cut it up just so it compost down a little bit easier. Get in the compost pile. There are some weeds. I don't know what this weed is, but it seems to be everywhere in the garden. It's everywhere, so if anyone wants to tell me what that is, then yeah, it's everywhere in the garden. It grows very easily. There's another lemon that's growing in the ground. I'm just trying to see, we're experimenting with these lemons because they are designed for the tropics, and they don't really do well with cold, so we'll just see what we can do in the greenhouse and try and keep them alive as long as we can. But it would be amazing to manage to grow some of these lemons, because they grow to the size of they grow to a size of a small melon. Do you know the honeydew melons? They grow to that size, and the pith is really sweet and it's really tasty, and that's what they're grown for, the flesh rather than the juice. So if we can get them growing, then that'll be awesome. Had this mint growing, we left it in this bucket. There's a couple of pots of mint in here. We left it in this bucket. I can't remember to give it a bit of a soaking and sort of forgot about it. And it's taken over a little bit. It's gone wild. So I'm going to try and bring this back under control. This is Egyptian mint. It just seems to have gone completely wild. Oh. See, I don't mind being so rough with mint because it is a very, very resilient plant. So I'll just trim these. It's the top branches that have come down and they've begun to root. So what I'll do is I'll just strip these top branches off. Try and get this root under a little bit of control. We put that down. But you see this? Wherever the mint has come in contact with soil, it's sprouted roots. So each one of these will make a nice fresh new mint plant. So I'm tempted to actually throw the parent away and try and make use of this. But I do like mint. I mean, I like mint. We use it a lot to make mint tea. But if anyone does want a mint plant, get in contact with me, and we'll see if I can get you some mint plants posted out. I'll try and keep these alive until then, before I start hacking them to pieces. Put that there. But the first things first with this one. All the roots are just come pouring out. They are very resilient. So what I will do is I will literally just cut them back like that. This could do with potting on. I will pot it on. But what I'm going to do is, see these older, tougher branches, or these older, tougher canes, just snip that out. Put that there, and then you can see what I'm doing. These older, tougher ones, I'll just snip them out. See, that's no good. And just try and bring this under a little bit of control. See, I don't like planting mint in the ground, especially this Egyptian mint, because it will just take over. See, with these older, tougher branches, what I am doing, I am just snipping them down right to the base, because with some of these, with the younger leaves coming up, I'm not so bothered about trying to get plants off these, because they're way too big, they're way too tough, and the younger leaves will come up and they'll give me plenty of mint leaves for next year. That's that. pick out some of these leaves. It's just a mass of roots. But anything that looks a little bit dying or diseased, that can come straight out. I can just get my secateurs in there. That'll be it. That can go. These dangly bits off the edge, I don't want them, so they can go. Let's take that out. I think that looks alright compared to what it was. I think that's a nice little mint plant now. Snip that out. It's a nice little mint plant. We'll come back for next season with lots of mint leaves on it. And I'll do the same to the next one and bring that under control. So there you have it, my 2 mint plants back under control. They're looking a lot tidier than they were, a lot more under control. And these green clippings here from the mint plant, I will just chuck on the compost pile. Because of where they're going to go in the compost pile, I'm not too worried about them spreading, because they will have so much matter on top of them that they will cause it to rot. They'll have no chance of growing. And if anyone does want one of these smaller mint plants, I can make you a couple of cuttings and get you some in the post. Just message me. We'll leave it there. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.